to the Japanese class, and today's class number is number 4, and we're going to talk about the Japanese particle as we did in the last class, and this is like the continuous version of it. So, to revise your memory, what was particle? A particle is a word that has a grammatical function but does not fit into the main part of the speech. So, the examples are noun, verb, and adverb are not the particles. So, the content of class today is Japanese particles. We're gonna talk about de, no, to, ka, and then mo at the end. Okay, first let's talk about de. De. So, de is a location particle or means particle. It marks locations, means of doing something, materials something is made from, or reason for something. So let's look into the examples. The first one says, 学校で日本語を勉強します。学校で日本語を勉強します。The meaning of this sentence is, I study Japanese at school. So, in this sentence, what is the location? It is school. That's why in this sentence, school means 学校. So, you put de right after the location, which is 学校. Moving on to the second one, it says 日本で会いましょう。日本で会いましょう. It means see you in Japan. So, where's the location in this sentence? It's Japan. So, looking back in the Japanese sentence, 日本 is Japan, which is the location, so you put de right after the location. So, location particle or means particle was the first function of de. The second function of de, we're gonna talk about more about means marker. So, it is a little similar from the first function, but de in this case indicates the means or material we use to do something. In English, it is by or with. De can mark the materials something is made of or from. And in this case, you would use de similar as with, from, or out of. De can mark the means of transportations as well. So let's look into the examples. The first one is 私はバスで会社に行きます。私はバスで会社に行きます。It means I go to work by bus. So, de is the same function as by, and it's referring to, by is referring to bus. So, going back to the Japanese sentence, de should be right after the bus. So, this is how it ends up in the sentence. So, the second sentence, it says, 寿司を手で食べます。寿司を手で食べます。In English, it is, I eat sushi with hands. Te means hands, and de was the same function as with. So with hands would translate it into te de, which is the exact same meaning. After te, after de, we're going to talk about no. No. The first function of no is modifying particles. So, as you can see from the formula, it normally starts with the noun, and in between the nouns, you would insert no. So, noun, no, noun. And no shows possession. Let's look into the first example. これは私のカバンです。これは私のカバンです。It means this is my bag. In this sentence, the noun is my and bag. So in Japanese, you would insert no in between. Therefore, in the example, there's no in between of watashi and kaban. Watashi no kaban. The next sentence, it says, 太郎の話は嘘です。太郎の話は嘘です。Taro is the Japanese typical name, if you may get confused. Taro no hanashi wa uso desu means Taro's story is a lie. So in this case, Taro and story is a noun, so you would put no in between Taro and hanashi. The second function of no is attribute maker. It basically highlights the category, origin, and the material. Let's look into the first sentence. 私は日本語の先生です。私は日本語の先生です。It means I'm a Japanese teacher. Excuse me. So, what should be highlighted in the sentence? Probably we had to find a category, what kind of category the teacher refers into. And then from the example, we know that this person is not like the ordinary teacher, but he is a Japanese teacher. So, back into the Japanese sentence, Japanese means Nihongo, so you would put no right after the Nihongo. Let's look into the next one. 日本の車が好きです。日本の車が好きです。This sentence means I like Japanese car. Similar as the last sentence, we know that this is not a regular car, it's the Japanese car that he likes. Therefore, you have to highlight the category in the sentence. So after Nihon, you would add the no. After the no, we're gonna talk about to. To. To is the connecting particle. And in English, you would use as and. So if you wanted to say A and B, it would be A to B. If you wanted to say A, B, and C, it would be A to B to C. Let's try that in the example. The first one says, 肉と魚が好きです。肉と魚が好きです。 It means I like meat and fish. Let's look back into the formula. If you wanted to talk A and B, you had to do A to B. So applying this sentence into the formula, you would know that A and B is meat and fish. And back in the Japanese sentence, meat is niku and fish is sakana. So in between you would put to. Okay, the next sentence. パンとバターとコーヒーをください。パンとバターとコーヒーをください。It means, can I please have a bread, butter, and coffee? As we learned from the formula, if it's A, B, and C, you would add to in between every noun. So in this case, A, B, C is bread, butter, coffee. So in Japanese, it will be pan, bata, kohi. And you would just insert to in between those nouns. The another function of to is involvement marker. It means that action was done with someone. And in English, you would use this as together or with. So let's look into the examples. サラはトシと映画を見ました。サラはトシと映画を見ました。Sarah saw a movie with Toshi. So, as we learned that to is similarly used as together or with, and from the example, we have with. So, with Toshi. So, you go back to the Japanese sentence and right after Toshi, you would add to because to is the exact same meaning as with. The second one says, 私はジョンと食事をしました。私はジョンと食事をしました。It means I had a meal with John. So, in this sentence, it also uses with John. So let's find with John in Japanese sentence. This one says John, so you would add the to right after the John. Very simple. Okay, after to, we're going to talk about ka. Ka. Ka, the first function is the question particle. So this is the basic formula. You create a sentence, and at the end of the sentence, you would add ka, and it will transform into a question sentence. So another thing that you should keep in mind is when a statement becomes a question, the word order would stay the same. In English, when a statement becomes a question, the order would reorganize and then it'll get a little complicated. But in Japanese case, you wouldn't have to switch it around the order, and then all you had to do is just add the ka. Okay, the first one says 県は 日本人ですか？ケンは日本人ですか？ It means, is Ken Japanese? Um, as we learned from this formula, if we hide the ka, it'll be Ken wa Nihonjin desu. That means Ken is Japanese. But if you add the ka, it would be into question form. So all you have to do is just add the ka right after the sentence. And the key point of the pronunciation for this is you have to go like this ka. You have to go a little bit higher key on the ka. So let's look into the second one. 質問はありますか？質問はありますか？ It means, do you have any questions? So, similar as the first one, if you hide the ka, it'll be 質問はあります. That means, I have a question. However, if you add the ka, ありますか? It transforms into a question sentence. The second function of ka is alternative marker. So this is the basic formula. You would insert ka in between the choices. So choice, ka, choice. So if you're using A and B, it'll be A ka, B ka. And ka is the exact same meaning as or in English. So let's look into the examples. 水かコーヒーが飲みたいです。水かコーヒーが飲みたいです。In English, it means I want, oh, sorry, I forgot the two, but I want to drink water or coffee. I want to drink water or coffee. So, in this sentence, what's the choices? It's water and coffee. So, all you have to do is find exact same words in the Japanese sentence, mizu, kohi, and then you would insert ka in between. The next one is also similar. 今日か明日にメールします。今日か明日にメールします。It means I'll email you today or tomorrow. So, what's the two choices? It's today and tomorrow. So, in Japanese, it'll be 今日 and 明日. So you would insert か in between 今日か明日. Moving on to も. The first function of も is to or also. So it's the exact same way to use something to or also in English. So this is the formula. There's a noun, and all you have to do is add the も at the end. So も is the replacement of the particles は、が、wo. Wo, we haven't learned it yet. So, oh, did we learn? Never mind. But it's the replacement of wa, ga, wo. And in English, mo is the exact same way to use as me too or so do I. So the first example it says, 私は 日本人です。県も日本人です。私は日本人です。県も日本人です。In English, it's I'm Japanese. Ken is also Japanese. So, mo is the exact same function as also. So, in the Japanese sentence, all you have to do is find Ken and insert mo right after it. The second example says, 私は肉も魚も食べます。私は肉も魚も食べます。It means I eat both meat and fish. So I use this example because it is interesting because you have to use mo twice, but you use mo twice because it means both. It means I also eat meat and also fish. So in the Japanese sentence, if you find the meat niku and sakana, which means fish, you would add mo in each side because that means both. Because if it's I eat meat and also fish, you would only need one mo, but if it's both, you would need two mo's. Mo is emphasize marker. Mo emphasize the amount of the extent of something. It's the same function as many as, or as much as. The first example, it says, この本は1000円もします。この本は1000円もします。It means this book costs 1000 yen. In this case, book costing 1000 yen is a lot, so you wanted to emphasize the amount of the price of the book. Therefore, after 1000 yen, you would add mo to emphasize the price. The next one it says, 子供もパソコンを使えます。子供もパソコンを使えます。It means even children can use computer. Even children can use means it's emphasizing a little ironically being like even kids can do it, so why can't you? Kind of vibes. So you had to emphasize the children part. And in Japanese, kodomo is the same meaning as children, so you would add the mo right after kodomo. So let's review the context that we learned today. De has two functions. One is location, and the second is the means. No also has the second function, two functions, modifying and attribute. To, the first function is connecting. Second function is involvement. Ka, the first function is question. The second function is alternative. Mo, the last one that we did, has to or else also. And the second function is emphasize. So we've learned a lot through the Japanese particles section. So if you have any question about anything, please feel free to reach out to me. And again, every time, thank you for your patience, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.